Hello. So today I'm gonna be filming my evidence number 1. And hello everyone, and welcome to this intercultural dialogue titled "The Contradictions of a Dual Heritage Nation When Dialogue Stops." My name is Carolina Leon, and today I'll be representing 3 different perspectives on this complex issue: the Mexican state, indigenous communities, and international organizations. The goal of this dialogue is to answer a key question: how should a modern state be configured to ensure integration of cultural diversity and the creation of real equality and equity? Let's begin by understanding the context that gave rise to this conflict. Well, on January 1st, 1994, the world learned about an armed uprising in Chiapas, Mexico, led by Zapatista National Liberation Army, OEZLN. While the Mexican government celebrated the North America Free Trade Agreement, an icon of progress and globalization, the indigenous people of southern Mexico were living in poverty and exclusion. According to the 1990 census, more than 90% of indigenous women earned below the minimum wage, and less than 6% of indigenous population had access to higher education. The uprising became a cry for justice, a demand to be seen, heard, and included. Okay, I'm gonna be representing the first actor, that would be the Mexican government. So, as the Mexican state, our primarily responsibility is to preserve national unity and ensure equality under the law. The 1994 uprising was a serious event, but also revealed the urgency of addressing inequality. In response to this, the government initiated talks that led to the San Andres Agreement of 1996, which recognized the rights of indigenous people to self-determination on their own forms of governance. However, implementing these agreements has not been easy. Our Constitution is founded on principles of equality, and creating exceptions for specific groups raises concern about fragmentation. In 2001, we approved a constitutional reform, Article number 2, that recognizing Mexico as a multicultural nation. Yet, balancing diversity and equality remains one of our biggest challenges. As a modern state, we aim to build a system that includes everyone, expanding bilingual education programs, ensuring access to healthcare and infrastructure in rural areas, and maintaining social stability under one legal framework. This is the end of the first initial statement. I'm going to be moving forward to the second one, which would be indigenous communities. So, from the perspective of indigenous communities, the story looks very different. For us, the uprising was never about violence. It was about dignity. For the San Andres agreements, that were a historic victory, recognizing our rights to govern ourselves according to our customs and traditions, but those premises were never kept. In 2001, when the reform was passed, many of our core demands were left out. The government recognized cultural diversity but not autonomy. So we took matters into our own hands. We created autonomous territories known as caracoles, where we organized education, healthcare, and community justice system based on solidarity and equality. In these communities, there is no hierarchy, and women like Comandanta Ramona have played key leadership roles. Our goal is not separation, but coexistence. We believe that truly equality can only exist when our collective rights are respected and our voices are part of national decision making. Okay, this is the end of the second initial statement. I'm going to be moving forward to the third one. That would be international organizations. So, representing international organizations, such as international labor organizations and the United Nations, our mission is to ensure that all member states respect the fundamental rights of indigenous people. The ILO Convention number 169, ratified by Mexico in 1990, guarantees the right to free, prior, and informed consultation before any action that could affect indigenous land or communities. Similarly, the UN Declarations of Rights of Indigenous People in 2007 recognizes the right to autonomy, culture, and participation in national life. Mexico has made important legal progress, but implementation remains inconsistent. The lack of effective consultation, limited access to justice, and persistent inequality show that there is still a long way to go. We recommend that the Mexican government institutionalize permanent intercultural dialogue platforms, with independent oversight and real participation of indigenous representatives. Equality and diversity are not contradictions. Diversity is the path to achieving equity. Overall, after listening to all of these statements, we can identify a common ground between all these parties. The government recognizes the need to modernize inclusion policies. Indigenous communities demand respect and genuine autonomy. International organizations offer frameworks and support to guarantee these rights. Together, we all agree that a modern, equitable state should institutionalize permanent dialogue between government and indigenous representatives, guarantee the right to free, prior, and informed consultation, recognize collective rights while protecting individual freedoms, invest in bilingual, and community-based educations, ensure transparency through international cooperation and monitoring. Building equality requires more than reform. It requires trust, empathy, and active participation. To conclude this dialogue, this shows that intercultural understanding is not only possible, but necessary. Mexico's dual heritage, indigenous and Western, is not a contradiction. It's a strength. A truly modern state is one that embraces diversity as the foundation for equality. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you for reflecting with me on this important question. How can diversity and equality truly coexist in a democratic nation? Thank you very much.